Welcome back to the Alec Lewis Show. I am your host, Alec Lewis. What is this? Episode 13, 12, 11? Kind of lost track because we haven't done one in about 10 days. And I apologize for that. Been working really hard on some stories for this season. One of them is actually both of them. By the time you guys are listening to this, both of them are going to be published. The first was I spent about an hour with Harrison Smith watching film. It was absolutely phenomenal. And that conversation / experience is available at The Athletic. The second story is a long project that I did on Sam Darnold and really how his whole career is emblematic of quarterbacks and how some of them are kind of failed in the NFL with what they're surrounded with, both from a skill player standpoint, coaching standpoint, infrastructure standpoint. You can find both those stories at The Athletic. So I was working really hard to get those done and ready. So that I could then give this as much effort as I want to. And I came back swinging. Like, I mean, I was not messing around with the guests that I gave you guys to start this week. You probably saw it in the headline, but we've got a guy named Justin Jefferson who it's been really awesome to kind of get to know a little bit over the last couple of years and get to watch him do what he's done. It was great getting to catch up with him before the season as part of a little Pepsi campaign. Where he was an actor a little bit, and so we'll talk about that. Had a laugh with that, but no, it was really cool talking about this season. I think you're going to like his comments about kind of how he feels this team is perceived and what might be possible. So you'll get that in a little bit. Not going to waste a ton of time because he is the star of the show, both every Sunday on the field and off of it as well. In the meantime, I'll give you a little rundown of what I'm thinking planned-wise for the season. So from the podcast perspective here on the Alec Lewis Show, I think our best bet is going to be Monday. I'm going to do kind of the post-game recap Monday morning / midday. And why am I going to do that? So I can synthesize the game plan, so I can go through what I saw the day before, in granular level detail. I can watch the film. I can go through the metrics. I can talk to people internally. I can just kind of marinate in everything and then bring you guys kind of my full, unabashed, informed reaction on Monday of what I saw the night before. So that's going to be the plan for the post-game reaction type of vibe. I know we live in an emergency pod world and we're not patient, but that's where I'm going to feel most comfortable with it and where I think you guys will get the most kind of bang for your buck in terms of the analysis and listen to me. And it'll be the most fun. We might even do a thing where you guys have questions after the game that I can just hop right into on that Monday. So that'll be might be something we do. And then I'm going to come back during the season on Wednesday and do kind of a game preview with the opposing a lot of the Athletic beat writers who cover the opposing teams to bring you the perspective of kind of the game and let that breathe a little bit. So where if you're listening to it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever, you can get the full kind of rundown of what you need to look for in the game. So that's kind of how I'm thinking of the plan. If you have thoughts on that, if you think I'm an idiot for doing it that way, then I will totally take your comments and thoughts both on Twitter, in the comment section on YouTube, anywhere. You send them my way on email. I will listen to that kind of opinion and we'll adapt. But that's the original plan from the outset, and we will adapt from there. Like I said, we're gonna do Justin Jefferson obviously for today, and then I'm gonna come back Friday with conversation with our beat writers who cover the Giants at The Athletic, Dan Dugan, Charlotte Carroll. They both do a phenomenal job. They're very fun to talk to. They're very engaged and tuned to that team. So it should be a really good conversation to kind of prep you for Sunday. And then by noon Sunday, I mean, I'm ready. We're going to be ready to go. I know I already am. I know the coaches already are. I had a conversation in the hallways of the TCO Performance Center on Wednesday afternoon with one of the coaches, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I can play this thing right now. Like, we're ready to roll right now. So, yeah, by Sunday, we're going to be raring back and ready to rock. But in the meantime, should have this. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this conversation with Justin, and then enjoy the conversation tomorrow on Friday, and you can listen to it Saturday with our Giants beat writers. But as always, appreciate you guys listening to the Alec Lewis Show, and let's get right into our conversation with Justin. Justin, first, thanks for hanging out. I know you probably got a lot better to do. What?
It's a little different. It's a little different talking to me outside the building, huh?
I know, exactly right. What excites you most about this season?
I mean, first off, just on how, the season went last year, dealing with injury and, dealing with stuff that I can't control and having to be on more of the patient side and being more of the coaching, player coach side, just into, making sure the guys are great for the game and, just voicing my opinions and being that type of teammate on the sidelines. To now, of course, I want to finish the season healthy, and of course, I want to have a great year. So I'm just excited to have now the season start. Of course, us having an opportunity in week one and against the Giants is going to be a great opportunity to start with. So I'm just excited to get on that field and go crazy again.
You talked about wanting KO to give you a play in that last preseason game. Did he give you one?
He did not give me one. He did not give me one. So he got to make up for it whenever we play.
yeah, get you the ball. Jet sweep.
Yeah, he got to give me an extra ball or two whenever we're out there on that field.
Love it. Do you feel like you guys are a little like underrated nationally? Like people aren't talking about you guys as much as maybe you think they should be nationally?
Yeah, we're underrated, but I mean that's kind of understandable with the new guys that's in the building. No one really knows how this team is going to pan out. But we love that. I love that. I always love being the underdog and being under the radar. So we can just, whenever we creep up on somebody and we can just shock them. We can just prove everybody wrong. And for the people that's doubting us and not really giving us that full credit or that full exposure that we really need or we really should have. Especially with the different weapons that we have on our offense and that we had gained on our defense. So it's going to be exciting to watch week one for us all to put it together. But it don't matter if the streets are talking about us or not. It's just on us to go out there and make everybody eat their words.
You mentioned weapons. What has Aaron Jones just brought to the building, and what will he bring to the offense?
Well, one, a leader, just him being in Green Bay and him having a main role over there, and now, carrying on to our team. I mean, he seems like he's fitting in very well. I mean, he's his communication with us and chemistry with us is definitely building. Just, getting to know him on and off the field and just seeing how he come to work every single day and how he prepares himself to be on top of his game. Him being the older guy, you kind of try to grasp everything that they're doing, try to grab all the information that you can from them. But to see him on the outside of the ball instead of the others, it's definitely going to be a great thing to watch.
Describe to me, if you can, like the evolution and how defenses have tried to defend you from your rookie year to now. Where have you seen the biggest shift?
Oh, it's a totally different shift. I mean, not the same at all. I mean, rookie, I'm getting more of like the man-to-mans, getting more on like the one-on-one battles and probably like cover three or just off man. Now I'm getting more of double teams, triple teams, and a lot of cloud and a lot of safety robbers. So it's been a little bit more difficult to make plays and to get open. But with KO's scheme and his ability to move me around in different positions and to give me the ball in times that I need to get the ball, just shows how good KO is as a coach and his schemes. And, of course, someone got to throw me the ball. So, I mean, Kurt, the previous year and now Sam having that ability to throw me the ball and giving him the extra confidence to give me those 50-50 opportunities.
What would you do to go against the off man cover three stuff again? Like if that's all you had, if it's
Oh,
like
I'll
that,
eat. I'll eat.
yeah,
I'm going for 2,000 easy if that was the case.
that's awesome.
But now to have all of that and to still, put up numbers and to be, top in the league it goes to show you, the player that I am and how difficult that it really is to make a play. People don't really get to see that, on the TV copy when they're only looking at where the ball is. They're not seeing the whole big picture of how the defense is playing and how they're trying to take you out the game.
Yeah. I'll go rapid fire real quick, then I'll get you out of here. Let you have a night. Toughest corner to go against and why?
Toughest corner to go against, I would say more of like a longer corner, a guy that's more physical.
Yeah.
Just because it's all everything is all a time thing. It's all about being on the same page as your quarterback. And if you have a guy that's press jamming you at the line of scrimmage, that's kind of throwing you off your route, it's going to mess up the timing of you and the quarterback. It's going to make the quarterback think or hitch or take a hitch step a little bit more than what he would do if they wasn't press jamming. So I would say like a press jam corner that's very physical and able to put their hands on it is definitely a corner that's a little bit more difficult to go against.
What makes Keenan McCardell so good?
I mean, what makes him not good? He's a guy that's been in the league for 17 years. A guy that knows all of the ins and outs of how to come to practice, how to perform on Sundays, how to manage your body and how to prepare your body to go on through a whole full season. So for him to be able to pull up film and we can watch him actually running those routes and catching the ball and making those plays versus a coach that doesn't have any coaching player experience and being out there actually on the field. So to have a coach that actually been there and actually done it, you kind of listen to him a little bit extra
Yeah.
whenever he's saying something.
What was your favorite college game at LSU?
Favorite college game? I mean, the college championship was something that
yeah, it's
you
easy.
can't. Yeah, it's something that's easy, but I mean, our Oklahoma is definitely my top game. Just being in the playoffs, having the performance that I had, breaking the records, and it's just the game to go into the championship. It's just something that I will never forget, having that type of performance at that stage of my career where I'm trying to come out and trying to be a first round draft pick and to go up to put up numbers like that definitely helped my stock jump a little bit more.
I've always wanted to ask you this in the building, but I just never have in those scrum media sessions. How many pairs of sunglasses do you have?
I have a lot. I have
like hundreds.
I have a good pair. I have some right. I have some right here. Actually, look at that. I have a couple right here.
I mean, every time you show up with a different pair, I'm like, I don't understand how this is possible. I mean,
always got to have a different pair, man. Always got to have a different variety. You never want to have someone see you in the same stuff, especially on game days, man. You got to have the new shades, the new colors, the new everything. So that's the swag that I have on game days, especially. So I always got to have a new pair of shades every time.
Yeah, you're saying you got to have. I'm like, I'm never gonna have. Yeah, it's never gonna be. No, I wear the same. No. Last one. What was it like being in the Pepsi Make Your Game Day Epic campaign? I mean, you're like an actor now, I guess. What's it?
I'm a model. I'm an actor. I'm a football player. Man. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, I'm trying to find a day job apparently. But I mean, just to have to be on Pepsi's team and to go through with the commercial and to work with some of the other guys that is playing on the same level that I'm playing on, and even to work with an artist that you don't get to work with every single day. So to see the different stuff that goes behind shooting a commercial, especially as big of a commercial that was, and to see the final edits. And I mean, everything was a fantastic job. I feel like they did a great job into putting the whole commercial together, making sure that we're great, just off the camera. And I mean, everything was phenomenal. I can't wait for everybody to see the commercial. And my acting skills, man. Hopefully my acting skills are good enough.
I think you did a good job. I was pretty surprised. You were like, I mean, I don't know. It looked like you've done it a million times.
Okay. That's the response that I like. That's the response I like.
No problem. All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it as always. I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Showtime. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. You know it.
And that's going to do it for Justin Jefferson. I'll say this, like maybe the thing that stuck out to me most from that entire conversation was how he talked about how this team is being perceived and how that is kind of tied to how he feels like he's been perceived his whole career. Bill Simmons always kind of, obviously famed sports writer, podcast host, always uses kind of like, who is the nobody believes in us team? And in some ways, like the chip on the shoulder, the motivation, like you guys know, if that is a sports cliche, like it's something where I've covered professional sports now for 5 years. I hear it all the time. They didn't believe in us. They didn't expect us. Like, like I hear it. I get you. I feel it. But I will tell you that with this Vikings team in particular, and it goes back to the first week of training camp and a conversation I had with Aaron Jones, the Vikings running back, and how he feels like just nationally, like he doesn't get the credit that he deserved. I remember thinking like, what? Like that doesn't make any sense. You've had an incredible amount of success. I will also say, I'm this podcast you're listening to probably on Thursday or Friday, and we talked to Jonathan Grenard on Wednesday, and it was another one. Like I don't think Andrew Van Ginkel gets the credit he deserves, and he compared that and paired that with the team as a whole. And so I do wonder if months from now, if we look back on, and this team has had an amount of success that has surprised people nationally, I do wonder if there were breadcrumbs laid this early in terms of the amount of guys, in this room, on this roster, the Ivan Paces who were overlooked, the Dwight McGlothers who were overlooked, that the Sam Darnolds who had to, navigate 5 years of being called a deficient quarterback. If we look back and think like, it was an interesting construction of guys who, like a Harrison Phillips, who's never talked about now nationally, maybe he shouldn't be. But if we're looking back and they've had an incredible amount of success, and for me, that would be going 10-7. That would be going 11-6. Like that would be very impressive, no matter where that ends up in the division. And I think if that ends up happening, my mind will probably go to some of these conversations and some of these answers from guys like Justin, and just the idea that internally they're probably not being viewed the way that other teams are. Maybe that's a Minnesota thing. Maybe that's just this town that doesn't feel like sports-wise they've had the amount of success kind of overall that it should. So that was kind of where my mind was at most when I finished that conversation. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said at the top, like and subscribe. Go read at The Athletic the story on and with Harrison Smith, watch him film with him. Go read the story on Sam Darnold. I think you guys will enjoy a lot of that. And then come back for the conversation we're going to have that goes a little more in depth with our Giants beat writers, Dan Dugan and Charlotte Carroll. Those will prep you. That will prep you for the game as good as I think anything can. Also going to pair that with the preview with John Krasinski at The Athletic. So should be locked and loaded. I am absolutely stoked to get this thing going, to be at MetLife Stadium, to have my binoculars and look like an absolute nerd as I usually do watching these games, and have you guys interacting in the comments, both on Twitter, in the story comments like that. This is why you do it. This is the dream. This is why you want to get into it. This is why you create a podcast so you can have kind of this runway of interaction. With that, that'll do it for the Alec Lewis Show. I almost mispronounced the name of the show. That would have been bad. But, it's still early. Mulligan on the first tee. We're just getting going. Thank you guys for listening as always. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, morning, night, whenever you're listening to this. Very excited to get back with you guys on a weekly basis. Going to be very fun.